Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
Hey, Paul.
How's
Hey, Paul.
everything?
How
Julia,
are you
Holger.
today? Doing good?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Yeah, still at home. Week
Another
6
week is
now.
over. Another week is over. Time is flying.
That's it. That's it. Time is flying.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, it's super interesting. We did our last Sunday brunch and we talked about sterilization, and it was just amazing to see the outpour and the connection and the doctors, reaching out and asking questions. And I really, I wanted to pick back up on that. One thing I didn't realize is that the doctors themselves aren't really doing the sterilization. It's someone
Yeah.
in the practice. It hasn't been at the foresight. And so the demand from the doctors themselves to say, hey, can you do something else? And can you show us more is really there. So I'd love to show them more.
Yeah. As Jules and I said last week, we can talk a day just about sterilization, but
Yeah.
I do not think that anybody will listen to us for one day, so therefore we just keep it short. But maybe Julia, you want to pull up the one picture that we had last week, the one from the sterilization, just to
Yeah.
about different zones, about the regulations from the CDC, what the ones which are already existing. I cannot see it really. I don't know. It's just my screen or is it yours as well?
No, I'm not seeing
Oh,
it
you
either.
can't?
No, no.
No. We just see something small here. So I
Okay.
think we need technology company here to help us. So
There you go.
Paul, do you know somebody who can help us?
I think so. I think so. So I think Julia, you just
Okay.
share and reshare. It should work out just like that.
Yeah, let me reshare it because mine said that
There.
it's sharing. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
see.
Perfect.
Perfect. See,
Perfect.
this is real time support. I love that, Paul. See, this was instant help.
Thank
That's
you.
fantastic.
Awesome
Everything's
customer
connected,
service.
right?
We try hard. We try hard. So thank you.
So that means you stay connected with all your clients 24/7, right?
We do. We actually have an app that when clients and dentists and doctors, when they need help, they just shoot us a little text, and we're able 24/7 to remote in and help them out instantly, which is really nice. So
Perfect. I would love to try that, especially let's say morning at 4 o'clock or something like that, seeing who's picking up.
yeah, yeah, you should. You should. We always have someone try us out, and it's fun to see.
Really?
It's mean when they say I was just kidding, and I think that's mean. But,
Okay, I can find a reason. That's no problem.
all right. Okay.
Sorry. So let's go back here. So yeah, this is where we jumped off last week, pretty much, where we talked about the sterilization itself, and the second important area that we didn't talk, at least not a lot about, is the storage, and this is the area on the right side here, where, as Julia was explaining last week, we have these 4 zones for the CDC, and this is the really important area where the sterile equipment is, and also the consumable storage. This is together with the sterilization, the heart of the office, where everything is distributed out of here.
Mhm.
And this is a little bit different than it was in the past, that there is pretty much no storage in the operatories. Everything is in that storage here, and it will be distributed out of that center to the operatories per treatment, kind of just in time to keep the inventory really low in the operatories. And yeah, Julia, do you want to put some information from what the regulations, especially for the storage, also is about, so that we get a little bit more dry information from the CDC on here?
Yeah, I think what's important to emphasize before we start is what we talked about last time, that right now we just have that linear cabinetry in our offices. So you never really have space to actually store anything in your sterilization. So that is the reason why right now it is in the operatories. So when we look at the setup that we can see right now, you can see that it's really 2 different rooms. And why is that the case? Because you're not supposed to store your sterile instruments in your actual sterilization center. Now, this is not a guideline that we have here in the US at the moment, but we can see that in different countries. So we just want to bring this to the US right now, especially since we know regulations are going to change. So that's just that one part I want to emphasize before we step into the details here.
Have you ever
So
seen something like this, Paul? You're in so many dental offices. Have you ever seen a real setup like this in one of the dental offices in the US?
Well, the ones that we've worked on together, I have, but outside of what we've done together, I haven't seen anything quite like this, quite this nice. And I think that's really, again, you guys bring such a different look at what's possible because of your experience in Germany and your experience in Europe. And so the offices that we've worked together, I've seen you guys do this, but for the most part, I haven't seen this. And I imagine that with the guidelines being more stringent in Germany, this is most likely coming to the States as something that needs to get done, is what I imagine.
yeah, and it's really not just about the guidelines and infection control, but we also have to see it from an organization standpoint, like Holger was saying, for your workflow. I always like to compare it with my closet at home. So I keep all my clothes in one space so I know exactly what I have. I see it at the same time. So if I would have my clothes in 5 different rooms, it would be much harder for me to know what I actually have. And that's what's happening in dental offices. We have all our supplies and consumables just spread out in 4, 6, 8 operatories. So we don't even know what we have in inventory. So that's in addition to the infection control.
But the important thing, just as a side note, you have 3 closets, not 1. So just want to make that point here. But the reason is because that 1 closet that you're talking about is not big enough. So that's why we have to make sure in dental offices that we plan it probably, that there is enough space to store whatever you need in there. Not that you end up having 3 closets like Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that ties back to a guideline that we currently have, which is that the CDC is saying that you have to have adequate space, not just to process your instruments, but also to store them. So back to one size does not fit all. It has to be customized to the amount of instruments that are being processed.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I think that is really unique to what you guys do with your design, and what Kappler brings to the table is the ability to understand how the dental practice actually works, the workflows, and then not create a cookie cutter practice, not create a one size fits all, but actually create something custom that's going to truly serve the doctor. And that's what the doctors were asking me for. They were saying, hey, this is such a great information. How can we learn more about sterilization? Because we need to. So what am I looking at here?
That's just a different view of the storage itself, where you can see we have on the far right, this is a storage for the cassettes and the tubs. So tubs, trays, cassettes is what you store on the right side, and on the left side you have space for your consumables. And I remember that we really try hard since close to 2 decades now, so at least 15 years, where we try to bring really the cassette system and the tub system into the dental market way stronger, so that there are, especially for the US, there are 1 or 2 brands out there. Your 3D is a good one. Really, they have a good system together for the cassettes, and then there's Circ, they have a good system for the tubs. And with these 2 systems together, that really works well to organize color code and get this really stored in a small storage with a lot of possibilities to have different cassettes for different treatments. And I think this is just important for the future, that people, especially the dentists and the assistant, realize there's a big potential doing this, but they need somebody just helping them. And that's why we're here.
Yeah, and Kappler understanding how this works and how it functions, and having done it so many times, I think that's the real value add to the doctor is understanding that. And I see a little skew gun there underneath that technology. What are you guys using the skew gun for?
The barcode scanner?
Yeah, the barcode scanner. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I just didn't know what the name. I know what a barcode scanner is. Okay, so yeah, this is actually I'm be honest, not really 100% sure if it's available in the US right now. In Europe, when you process your sterilization and you put your cassette in there and you take it out, you label it. And with the label, the cassette is clearly marked of what was the pressure, the heat, the everything that was in the sterilizer. Also, when was it sterilized, from who was it sterilized. So they scan it here, they put it in a storage, they take it out of the storage, they scan it again, just to make 100% clear, how do you say, documentation of what instrument was used where.
It's wonderful. So you have not only the design, the understanding of how it works, working with companies like Hu-Friedy and other companies to bring all the trays together, but it's also, you have a piece of technology that helps drive it all together and documents it properly. And I think that's something that's coming down the pipe here in the States, is not only sterilizing properly, but making sure you've documented it properly. And you guys have the experience with that. That's really, really wonderful. Yeah.
There's one thing that comes to my mind. You showed last time, sorry, Chula, just one last thing. You showed last time these operatory with the two colors.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any idea behind to maybe extend this even further with the technology from Surf?
Yeah, I'll bring up a picture right now. Let me bring that up. And that picture there, do you have that?
That's also nice. So you are
Yeah,
Surf.
this is a great view. I sent that over to you, Julia. You have the screen share up. Would you be able to bring that up real quick?
Oh, I thought you said you have it, so I don't have it in front of me right away. It's somewhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I won't have a way to bring that up if it's not there, but it was just basically a view of when you go into the operatories, the monitors have different colors that actually, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, yep. Oh, there it is. So the monitor, no problem. The monitors have different colors that will actually correlate to the Steri Center. So when you walk in here, you can see kind of which monitor is, or which chair is ready to go. So the first chair is red, the last chair is red, and then you got green and yellow. And green, you're ready to go, and you can rock and roll. So we kind of got that idea when we were talking to you guys, and connecting these systems together makes it very special.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, some really good information today. Again, I really, really appreciate it. I hope the crowd enjoys it. And
we still have no time to go to the next step, which is toward the operatory, which is the single entry and why it's so important. So last week we said we will touch that, and now we're again into.
Right. Well, the demand on Steri has been so big, but it's what you say is interesting, because Steri will end up going into the operatory, right? And so this is what you see here with these pictures, is like, how do you get that communication into the operatory? So I hope we can touch base on that next week. But again, the docs were really asking for us to come back to the Steri right now. So I hope next week we can touch base on the operatory and the reasons why you guys really like single entry and what all the options are. So I hope we can do that. Yeah.
And again, cool that we see here these colors. And if you go back, Julia, to the other one, we see the same colors in there. One more. Yep. So that's really cool how we bring really these things together, and that's nice. Yeah. So we dentists see how it can work nicely together.
Everything is connected.
Everything is connected.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Well,
and next week we will connect the storage and the operatories.
That's what we do.
Step.
Wow. I look forward to that. Connecting the storage with the operatory, with the clinical care. I look forward to that. And I think it's going to be an exciting one. Well, thank you so much today, guys. I really appreciate you joining us here, being the experts on Steri. We really appreciate that, and seeing how technology can bring that all together. So
thank you for your live support. That was really fantastic. So I have to say, I give you 5 stars for that. So it was really instant. So appreciate it.
We try. Thank you so much, guys. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
Bye.